Welcome back to Video Head Cleaner, the podcast where we will be your little soda pop, if you ask nicely.
Kyle, though, I have a serious question for you.
Yeah.
Are you the queen that you're meant to be?
Well, we'll find out, I guess. But yeah, I am shining and glowing and golden and all of this.
You are.
But,
you are.
Today, if you haven't guessed, we're talking about the global phenomenon that's taken the world by storm, and it's really hard to overstate that, frankly, because it also has the charts in a virtual stranglehold. KPop Demon Hunters.
Yeah. It was a cute film.
This movie...
I liked it.
Oh, it's very good. And I mean, like, it hits a lot of the quadrants, or like, I mean, the kids love it, like, parents love it, the gays love it. There's a very queer... I almost hesitate to even call them undertones. There's like overtones of this, but...
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's slapping you over the face, but, there's some themes that I think that we can, relate to.
Oh, goodness, yeah.
From a queer perspective, from a gay perspective, yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This movie, in 9 weeks of existence, became Netflix's #1 movie ever, most popular. Yeah. It led to Netflix's first box office #1, as in 2 days of being in theaters for the sing-along version, it made $18 million.
Oof. There you go. Yeah.
And even if you haven't heard the movie or like seen the movie, you've almost assuredly heard a song or more from it, because it became the first movie in over 3 decades to have 3 or more of its soundtrack songs in the top 10 Billboard.
Yeah.
Sure. Would you like to guess what the movie was before that? It was in 1978.
That had 3 of its songs.
3 of its songs in its soundtracks.
And this is 1978. Mm-hmm. What was the okay, wait, is it Xanadu?
No.
Okay, because Xanadu has an awesome soundtrack. Terrible movie. Great soundtrack. No, okay, what is it?
And it's Saturday Night Fever.
Well, yeah, okay, there's that. There's also
craze,
that. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sure, wow, there you go, competing with John Travolta and the Bee Gees.
Well, it's not even competing, frankly. It has like 5 in the top 10. Like, still, to this day, it is September. This was released in June, and it's nuts. I'll talk more about the charting and stuff later, but like, what was your exposure to this movie before watching it, or like, we picked it out? Did you know anything about this? Like,
I think you had mentioned it, and I've seen, the thumbnail on Netflix. I didn't really know anything else about it, to be honest, and I probably could have assumed that it was a musical, that it would have K-pop in it. Yeah, but I didn't really know anything about it, so yeah.
I was told to watch it like 10 times before I did, and frankly, I was not disappointed, but you don't want to hype this movie too much, I guess. Frankly, the world is doing that at the moment.
Oh,
so,
exactly.
All right. Well, then come along with us to take a look at this movie and what makes it so special and why it's connecting with so many people across just tons of countries and groups, like I said.
All right. So let's see. So when the film opens with a bit of history, some folklore about the nature of the hunters.
Right. It kind of weaves a bit of the like current concert with the voiceover is by a character named Celine. And she is sort of the mentor to these hunters that comprise Huntrix. That's what the band is for. This is a concert for Huntrix.
Yeah, as we see in this history montage of the myth and story of the hunters, every generation there is a new trio of female performers. And with the combined power of their song and their virtue, they reinforce the wall between our world and the demon realm, right? And so every generation we have a new group, and each generation, of course, reflects the style of the times. And so the various iteration of the hunters, they might be, a doo-wop group. So on and so forth.
I don't know about that in Korea, but yeah.
Well,
I guess.
They show some pastels, and some of them look like, they kind of look like, the Shirelles or the Shangri-Las, the kind of 50s girl group style. And then a little bit of 70s kind of disco flair, and then some kind of, some 80s girl group, and then, so on and so forth.
For sure. And I think Celine, I don't even know if they spell it out in the movie. I'm pretty sure she was in one of those bands.
So they showed the group before the Huntrix, the trio that we see in this film, and they're called the Sunshine Sisters, Sunlight Sisters, the Sunlight Sisters, and she was the lead singer of them, right? And so, yeah. So
I mean, it's going on about how on the surface these people are pop stars, but actually they're more than that because the history montage shows villagers just being ravaged by demons until somebody with the voices that are able to drive these demons back. Essentially, is how this happens.
Yeah. Voices and badass, fighting skills.
The knives don't hurt.
Yeah.
We don't actually see the voices really affecting the demons, if I'm honest.
Their voices cut deep, but so do their blades. So, yes.
But yeah, we're establishing things. There's demons exist in this world. There are hunters that hunt them. The demons are there to steal souls to funnel back to their king.
Yeah.
Gwi-Ma, our main antagonist here.
Yeah.
The world was dark and getting darker. It was happening until, the heroes could do this. And so this is the first scene, in this first scene, rather, we see pink lines racing towards the innocent villagers. This is a visual motif that will repeat throughout the film. Pink is the color of Gwi-Ma and the demons, essentially.
Yeah. So blue being the color of the human world, right? It's the color of virtue, whereas pink is, we're going to see kind of associated with, demonic tendencies and maybe like kind of vice versus blue virtue and so on.
It's a good motif though, because if pink's popping up at a scene, you can be assured something's about to go down. For sure. So part of we see sort of the goal of the hunters essentially here, and what was achieved to a degree is that the hunters use their music to unite souls, allowing them to create a shield that protects the world. The Han Moon in this case. If you're literally translating this, it translates to soul door, even though it is a made-up word. So when I say literally, this is not a word that they just picked up. It's just, this is a fictional word created for the K-Pop Demon Hunters thing. But if you translate it, it's roughly that.
Sure.
But it is a shield in this movie that protects against the demons. It does not allow them in when this is happening. So that's going to be brought up a lot. So when we say the Han Moon, this is a shield around the world type something. Every generation has new hunters to work to keep the Han Moon shield going so the demons don't return. And so Gwi-Ma is kept away. And I mean, we're like you pointed out, the opening scene's in like feudal Japan, and then we're in modern times weaving in with a concert. So it's been going for a while. This chain has been handed down.
I would assume feudal Korea.
Did I say Japan?
Yeah.
Oops, this is not J-pop. Apologize. I also apologize in advance for if Tommy and I mispronounce any of the names or things in this, because we assuredly are going to. We will do our very best, mind you. But
I think I can. I think I have a handle on the names of the characters. But if we come across any Korean word, I don't know if I'm gonna. I'm not fluent in Korean. Love the film.
Love Peg. And so if they do a great job, we're told, these hunters, they can create a golden Han Moon that will make it so that he can never return, essentially. And so that is the goal that's sort of stated at the beginning of this movie. They're trying to basically get enough fans and powers and people behind them to make this the super version of the Han Moon, so that the demons cannot come back and the world will be sort of perfect, as we find.
Ends the eternal conflict, essentially.
So we then see the woman who's narrating this, Celine, as mentioned, telling this to all the three girls that make up Huntrix. Like I said, she's the mentor of them. Then we sort of get some quick profiles on the girls, starting with Mira, the tall and, let's say, spikier personality and spikier fashioned member of the trio.
She's the badass of the trio. She's more gruff and curt. And direct. Yeah.
She later in the movie is like, I know I'm a difficult person. And then we see Zoe, who is the rapper and lyricist who grew up in Burbank, which is a weird detail, but she's got a more cutesy aesthetic going on, but is also a rappier, just... I don't know. Yeah. She's intense when she's rapping.
Well, I think it's to add a little backstory to her rap. Her rap being right, perhaps she's she grew up in America, so she's got that American flair, But it also speaks to the close South Korea United States relationship. Quite a bit of immigration to the United States, quite a bit of cultural exchange. So yeah.
And then finally is Rumi, our main purple-haired character, and the front man for the trio, who's sort of a legacy K-pop star, as her mom was in the Sunlight Sisters, which you mentioned, but died when she was an infant.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So this prompted Celine to care for her, sort of, and adopt
yeah,
her.
Celine, the lead of the previous super trio, Sunlight Sisters, takes upon herself to raise the child of one of the band's members who dies. And I don't believe we find out at this point why.
We don't. We are assuredly getting sequels at this point. Like, they've said it outright, and the directors want to tell more stories. So I imagine we'll probably dip back into that later, but it's not covered in this movie.
Yeah, but we know Rumi has a legacy. Yes, for sure. Yeah.
So it's stated that Huntress is taking a break after this concert, and whether that's just due, that our normal day, the stadium is packed with adoring, crazed fans.
Yeah.
And this is where we first meet Bobby, their manager, who's voiced by Ken Jeong, most known for the Hangover films and Community and Chang and
Community,
stuff.
yes, Senor Chang.
He adds some great levity into this. Yeah, he's a good pick for this. But he's seeing where they are because he's like, there's a whole stadium full of fans here, like just chanting, and I'm a little scared. Yeah. and he sees they're still in the air though in the plane. We're currently there massively carb loading, as it were. yeah. So oddly enough, their plane is just flown right over the stadium as if nothing's happened. Of course, Bobby's wondering what's going on. Don't leave me with these ravenous fans. We get glimpses of them being like a menacing throng. Poor Bobby. Meanwhile, the Huntrix, the girls, are on the plane, and our first shot is their, what do they call it? Their ramen. There's something ramen. Ramyun. They have a whole bunch of stuff there, but essentially they're like, we need a carb load because this choreography is going to take out so much from us.
The pre-show ramen, which is just more or less a feast for a Korean king. It more or less covers every surface in the plane. It's gigantic. It's ramen and sushi, and I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
We see the airline stewardess be like weirdly nervous around him, and also pour hot coffee right into a plant.
The flight crew seems a little widgy. They seem a little odd. They're awfully smiley, awfully jerky in their movements.
And Huntrix sort of like just ignores this at first. We're like, well, that's weird. But then they get a text from Bobby saying like, hey, you're late. Where are you? And they look out the window and they're like, oh, we have flown over the stadium. And that prompts them to look over and be like,
oh, yeah, we've been hijacked by demons.
Who would want to delay us? Or keep us from our fans? And
they seem awfully nonplussed when they confront the crew. Like, yeah, y'all are demons, right?
Yeah. Like, all right, we're going to fight. Yeah. So they put it together. They grab the arm of one, and they establish that they, in fact, are a demon due to the fact they have these patterns on their arm.
Yeah, they have like purple demon tats. They kind of...
It's very tribal, like racing up here.
Kind of like purple demon lightning that's like streaking down their arms and whatnot, and kind of like a tattoo formation.
It's the very visual signifier of this movie of demonhood, and they're right. There are 5 demons that were pretending to be the crew and the pilot, ultimately. And as they are about to kick ass, we're treated to the first song in the movie. We're here. This is a musical, as Tommy mentioned.
We get our first song, How It's Done. The demons, they threaten the fans, and that's what just triggers Huntrix. Because when that happens, they just got to burst out in song and grab the weapons. They just gotta, and so we got our first combat scene as they fight on the plane.
Yeah, and they have each their own unique sort of soul weapon or something that comes out. It's ethereal. They can kind of manifest it. Like Mira has a spear.
She's got like a spear or a halberd or something.
I guess it's a good...
it's a big, hefty weapon.
Zoe's got like these little kunai, these knives that she throws at him and stuff.
Hers is more agile, pair of daggers. And then, of course, leader Rumi has the leader sword.
The sword, just like the Leonardo, the Ninja Turtles.
I was going to say, it's very much like Ninja Turtles, yes.
This movie is essentially a musical at heart in the vein of Frozen or countless Disney movies, except with the aesthetics of K-pop, and so this will not be our last song. No, far from it, mind you, but...
a lot of very catchy, cool songs in it,
And I mean, that's the thing, they're good, so, not a bad thing, But the only thing better than beating up demons is doing so to beat them while preparing your ramen. So they do stop midway through beating ass and before skydiving off to Just scarf some ramen.
Yeah, no, they got to load 5,000 calories a day or they disintegrate, basically. And we see why, because they just jump out of the plane like it's nothing.
As the words heels, blade, nails, mascara, fit check for my napalm era ring in the background. And mirror, mirror, who's the baddest? Ring in the background. Like
my napalm era, I like that. Yeah, that was a good one.
They kill the demons. The demons rip the plane apart, essentially trying to kill him that way. It doesn't really faze them. They just skydive out and they land on stage, much to the delight of their fans.
Yeah. Yeah, no parachute. They just raw dog the landing and drop like comets, and it's spectacular. The demons also make it down, and they're in dance pose, ready to go for the closing bit of how it's done. All spectacular, but yeah, no, the girls just glamour crush it. And stick the landing. Yeah.
They crush it so hard we see flickers of the gold. Like the Han moon is represented in this movie by like ley lines, I guess you would say.
Yeah,
and they're usually bluish here.
It's kind of like a topographical map almost.
Yeah.
Right. It kind of ripples. It kind of contracts and expands, and it's their performance is just so spectacular that we're getting flashes of gold. It's just that good.
Because they're close. They're close to ending this conflict forever. And so they get excited as the title card, K-Pop Demon Hunters, hits. And we next see one of the flight attendant demons very nervously walking up to some sort of altar between many other demons.
We are in what we can assume is the underworld.
Right, presumably in this demon world here. And we talked pink, but some giant pink flames are here. And this is Gwi-Ma, and they ask how it went.
So Gwi-Ma is depicted as just a giant kind of pinkish, reddish, kind of baleful demon fire, just at the top of kind of like a mountainous plateau with stairs going up to it. Very, it's a great image, right? It's kind of primordial, definitely kind of glowering and menacing, right? And represented by a booming, playful but definitely menacing voice.
That voice actually, if you're like, what is that voice? Where do I know that guy from? He's the front man, the guy all in black in the Squid Game show, pulling from another Korean property.
Oh, he's 4, 5, 6?
No, he's not like the main character.
Oh no, he's like the main villain.
He's like the dude that takes care of the VIPs. He's the brother of the cop and stuff.
The guy in Iron Mask.
Yes.
That's right. He's Metal Mask Man. Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. So a good pull, another Korean Netflix pull there on that. But ask how it goes. It didn't go well, obviously, so he incinerates her on the spot.
Gwi-Ma is displeased with Chief Stew's failure to take down the Huntrix.
Yeah, and specifically, he's like, he says the golden Han moon is close, and if it's achieved, then all is lost. He's like, I can never assault this realm, essentially.
No, it's getting real for Gwi-Ma. He's sputtering out. The flame is dying because he just can't feed on delicious souls. It's getting grim.
Which cues our wide-brimmed hat stranger demon coming out to start song number 2 as this is Genu, and he has a new proposed strategy, which Gwi-Ma is open to listen to because, frankly, it's not working. Things aren't going great.
He floats in. Very, very dramatic.
He rides the tiger in, which...
Yes.
The tiger named Derpy, mind you, that they don't ever actually say his name in the movie.
I'm sorry, Derpy?
Yes, his name is Derpy.
Did you just insult the cat? Like what? That's his name.
That's his name.
Wow.
This should explain a lot about his behavior through the movie. If you think about that,
it's descriptive. Yeah, it fits.
He's playing his little guitar, like stringed instrument, a lyre, I don't know. But he proposes going after the thing that powers the Han moon, the fans, and so he's essentially demonstrating, I can do music, I can do this. People would like this.
He's got some real swagger too. He floats in with this kind of song that's kind of mocking Gwi-Ma, which is that's bold. You're mocking the evil itself. So he's got some attitude for sure. And so he makes his proposal, right? Audacious as it is, he introduces it with a snap pose that he and his 4, the kind of like boy witches they kind of look like.
Right.
Yeah.
This is a demon boy band he's proposing. Yeah, they do have. It was very funny though because people were like, "Is this gonna work?" And then they pose, and the demons are, "Oh, this is gonna work. Yeah, this is definitely gonna work." You see that?
Yeah. You have to kind of imagine this visual. When I say boy witches, they got these like black, like tall, like wide brimmed hats with these kind of thin, slendering black robes. You know, I guess you could say they look like warlocks, but I don't know. Boy witches is what it read as to me.
There's a cultural reason I'll get into as to why they're dressed like that later.
Sure,
but
sure.
it's they're flipping their hair, they're doing poses and stuff.
Yeah. They have a real kind of animalistic, demonic look, but with a snap, they get a kind of glam up, like a partial glam up, and they go from full on demon to kind of hot demon. They go to like incubus. From just like pure on animal demon, and the demon horde, they're feeling it. It's like ooh, glamorous, oh my.
And you know, Gwi-Ma himself is like, all right, this is a good idea, but he also says to Jinu that he knows he's never done anything not self-serving, asking what he wants for this. To which Jinu replies, he wants the memories erased. So we get a little, and there's a flicker of a scene with like a woman and a child, but it's just, this will be explained more later. But
we get a suggestion that Jinu has a past. He's got a backstory that's potentially tragic somehow. But yeah.
And we will find more about this sex pot out later. But for the exact moment, we're back to the girls. And they're all very excited because they saw that flash of gold representing the possible golden Hanmoon brink. And they say they have to release the song, which they're also pumped because they have 2 weeks off, though. They just, like I said, they were going on a break. And so they were like, let's just do nothing but sit on the couch for 2 weeks. Let's do it.
Yeah. But Rumi's not feeling well. She's got kind of a cough. It's a little hint of something up. You know, she's the lead singer. It would make sense that she's taxing her voice, but she seems very concerned about this. Like this is, she asks this is not explainable by just them being tired.
We also just get the vibe that she wants this to be done and over with because she rushes this. Like she releases the single herself, and then she gets in her outfit and then pops up right by them on the couch as they sit down.
Yeah,
and they're like, "What? No!" Like
she has a
couch,
kind of manic, almost urgency about it that they don't quite get, and especially since they are exhausted, they've been on tour, and But Rumi's got other plans, namely to drop their next big hit that night. So she very slyly brings out their golden costumes after surprisingly appearing in hers.
And
the girls
I mean,
are distraught.
Yeah, the girls are distraught for a moment. They kind of rebound quickly. You see, they really do love their fans because when Bobby, the manager, comes in and says the new single's doing amazing, they like perk up and like, oh, really? Is it? Like, wow.
We get another song at this moment. Golden, and when I asked Kyle if he's the queen that he was meant to be, this is the song where we are posed that dilemma.
This is the song that came out of this movie. This is assuredly the song that you have heard out of this. I can't go to a gay party or to a dance floor or to anything these days without this being on, because it is the mega hit that came from this. As of 3 days ago, this song has been number 1 on the Billboard Global 200 for 8 weeks running, to put that into context.
Wow. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, it's so good. It's such a good song. People are mad because the VMAs just happened and it didn't win Song of the Summer, and there's all these little K-pop fans online that are like, this is a tragedy. but just like in real life where people loving this song, we see fans in the movie just crying in joy and just loving the song that comes out. And it's building hype for the song, and the band's out there doing their stuff and promoting for it.
Yeah. The crowd loves it. Now, and I think at various other moments, we get shots of the crowd, and this is a moment where I very much appreciate the animation and the attention to detail that this film has. The crowd just delights me all the time. Everyone in the crowd, it just has they all act very uniquely, and some of them are these like big, tall teenage boys who are just fangirling it out, or you have the dude who's like singing along and just really feeling himself when he's doing it, and you got the young girls who are just manic, and
there's these huge like bears of men that are crying along to it and stuff. But it's very cute.
But every member of the audience like has their own personality, and so I just appreciated that attention.
There's a guy that pops up several times in the movie. He just keeps ripping his T-shirt off to reveal a new person, depending on his allegiance at the exact moment. That's
Hunter's T-shirt reveal guy. Yeah.
But we sort of see our first wrinkle in the plan in this group, as whenever Bobby and Mira and Zoe are in a room talking about it, in another room we see Rumi there, and she's got demon patterns on her when she takes off her jacket.
She kind of has a melancholy moment during the song where she's looking at her tattoos in the mirror, and it seems like they're covering quite a bit of her at this point. And we'll later get a flashback that shows her as a young child with just a little bit of this kind of demonic tattoo pattern on her. And so we can conclude that maybe this is progressive. It's like a progressive condition. It seems to be overtaking her, and it might suggest why she seems in such a rush. That she feels like she doesn't have a lot of time. Like something's happening to her, like something's happening to her voice. She's trying to sing during a music video recording and just can't hit that. She can't hit the high note.
But it's a demon hunter who's a demon, and that's a very just at odds thing, really.
It's a conflict. I feel like I've seen this kind of scenario in a lot of like anime.
Anime is exactly what I was going to say.
Vampire Hunter D comes to mind.
I don't think you watch Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, but there's Nezuko, the girl demon sister, who does that. And so it is, it's a motif. It's interesting, though. And so as the song builds, the climax, though, as we're going, we do see as they're practicing this for their big promoing that Rumi's voice breaks, and she can't finish the song. And so she goes backstage to find that the patterns have reached her throat, talking about progressive, and her voice, essentially, and she runs off into the night. And this is where we get the scene of the very young Rumi, maybe 5 or 6, I'd say, like being taken care of by Celine, as she asks Celine if hunters kill all demons, which is a sort of sad thing, and now that we know what it is, including everyone with patterns, and she pulls up her sleeves to show small patterns there already.
And we can kind of also, we can start to deduce why Celine is raising her at all. She appears to be half a demon, but as we gleaned earlier, she's also the child of one of the members of Sunlight Sisters, and so Celine, perhaps very much against her gut feeling on this, kept the child and is raising her after her mother died. We don't know why her mother died, maybe in childbirth, who knows. But
they don't mention it, and they touch on this just in the scene, I think, and never again in the movie, that the father of Rumi is a demon. So honestly, I bet the second one is this. I would bet it's going back to like
the
Celine and to
Rumi's
the mom,
parents.
It's built in like for a writer to just flesh out like the tragedy or the whatever else. But,
definitely.
But Celine tells Rumi to cover it up, and that one day these will be gone when their goal is achieved. Essentially, when the Han Moon is done, the golden Han Moon, that her patterns are going to go away. She tells her.
Like the golden Han Moon will fully and forever cover up all things demon. Celine's advice is, you've got to hide this. You've got to cover it up. You got to keep this suppressed and down. You got to keep it down. And that it's advice that kind of haunts her more and more as we see.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, in part of the golden lyrics there, no more hiding, as she's sort of distraught about that. But so the other girls of the group decide they're going to the bathhouse. It's something they do often, and they invite Rumi, but apparently she always declines, and we could see why now with the little patterns there. She's not anxious to be nude or near nude around them, because that will give up the jig pretty quickly. One
can imagine that her huntric sisters would perhaps freak.
And she even, I mean, she voices out loud that they might understand, but we see sort of an ethereal, like memory-based Celine in the room saying they won't until they achieve the golden Hanmoon and that, the patterns are removed.
Yeah, the consequences are dire potentially.
So she has a voice of her mentor figure saying, you have to hide there. And so Rumi goes to the roof and tries to sing the notes she couldn't hit, but while doing so, she generates out a pink wave that we see move across the earth. And again, demons,
when she gets very frustrated and kind of enraged in this moment of profound frustration, and from her ripples a demonic note in her voice in this menacing pink ripple that goes across the landscape. The conflict is real for sure.
And so Mira and Zoe, when they're talking about like how to maybe help fix the voice or to do things, they talk about maybe they should call Celine, but then they imitate what they'll know she say because apparently this has been drilled into them. We are hunters, voice is strong, your faults and fears must never be seen, which sounds like an immense amount of pressure to put on somebody, or Rumi specifically here.
And it's understandable given the immense responsibility on them. They're not only do they have a fan base, but them having that fan base is of profound metaphysical importance. Unlike the normal pop divas, they must have a warrior strength too, right? It's two kinds of insane pressure. So
it's a lot. And so when they're talking about it with the voice problem, the other girls, Mira and Zoe, say they have to hide and fix it, but Rumi disagrees and says they have to perform at the Idol Awards as it strengthens the Hanmoon for the year. We get the vibe it's an annual thing. It's just something that is very good for that. It's a big nationally televised, perhaps internationally probably thing. So
we can kind of glean that their fans are part of their strength, right? And so for them to disappoint their fans, again, would have some serious metaphysical ramifications, for sure. Yeah, so they can't miss this performance date. It's too crucial.
So the next morning, they're out in the city. Zoe has an idea to go take him to a doctor that she knows about. His name is Healer Han, to see if he can fix Rumi's voice. While walking there, we see a passerby with a flyer for a free concert for the Saja Boys with a lion on it. But he says out loud, "Who are the Saja Boys?" Fuck is that?
First glimpse of the emergence.
And I bring up the lion because in Korean, Saja is lion.
Sure.
That's what that means. So the doctor, Healer Han, looks at Rumi, but when I say looks at Rumi...
I was going to say, slow down. Okay. I have in my notes, the doctor gives her the stare, capital T, capital S, and his eyes bug out of his face, and he is basically staring her to filth, and reads her to filth likewise. So the doctor is perceptive. For sure.
The director, Maggie Kang, in interviews I read about this, talks about how there is a big there's an influence from a bunch of animation, but things like Looney Tunes or whatever were in the mix because the eyes bulging out. You'll see corn eyes or things later, or somebody's from neck to top of head will turn red or something. She also talks about Charlie Chaplin films and how he says a lot by not saying things essentially.
With pantomime and gesture.
So there's a bunch of influences, but that's a very obvious one in this moment where yes, it is a very funny slapstick sort of he's let me take a look at you. Whoop! And then his eyes pop out a few inches from his head and he's really intently looking at her and he goes, "You've got some walls up." And the other girl's "Yeah, she does."
Preach it, doctor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, the doctor's spilling the tea for sure, and then whips around and also reads poor Zoe as just being so desperate to please, which she of course refutes by panically asking if what
that's not true.
Exactly?
Is it?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it to be that way or whatever. It's just immediate people pleasing.
Yeah. So the doctor's 2-0, but we get to hard ass Mira, and they engage in kind of a staring duel that quickly resolves in Mira's favor, with the doctor kind of scampering back a bit like a dog.
Being knocked back, out intimidated by Mira's badassery there, for sure. Don't mess with me. And so the doctor sort of gives her like a tonic for this voice thing. And we do see there's all these pictures of like the K-pop stars that like he supposedly helped, and at first Rumi's like, oh, okay, like he's an established doctor. Like, I mean, when I got my LASIK done, it was by the guy that did it for like, he does it for the Cowboys and like the Rangers. I'm like, okay, if they trust like multi-million stars with this, like, then sure, I'll go to you.
But did he apply his image to their pictures like a sticker?
But then, yeah, as they're leaving the office.
Because that's what Dr. Tonic does.
That's what we see. It's just like, they're like, wait, that's us. Like, we've never taken a picture with this guy, and they see a sticker peel back, and he's a liar, turns out.
This movie makes me worried about Korean medicine. I don't know. I need to familiarize myself more so, I think.
As they're leaving and sort of trying to do so discreetly, because they are sort of on their little 2 weeks off-ish, I guess.
They don't want to draw attention to themselves.
They don't want to get mobbed by fans, I suppose.
They're mega popular. Yeah.
We then see a beautiful K-pop boy group, the Saja Boys, come down the alley towards them. This is our first look at them in their human form.
We're presented a vision of these beautiful, beautiful young Korean K-poppers.
A one with abs so robust they're bursting the buttons off of his shirt there.
Yeah, his shirt cannot contain the beauty of his abs.
They said in the like interviews I saw that all the Saja Boys are based off the same CGI model, but for the abs when they upped it by 20% to make him like bulkier and like bigger and just
yeah, so the abs are out.
And this is where Zoe specifically goes full Looney Tunes with her eyes turning into corn with pats of butter on them. Her face does the filling up from the bottom with red as she ogles the incredible abs of one of them, who we will find out is named Abs Saja or Abby.
Abby Saja. Yeah, exactly. Zoe's getting glamour crushed.
And Rumi says that's gross. And that, oh, boys or whatever, ew, until she spots the final member in the back looking like a true current Korean male beauty standard.
But then she sees his face, and she has to catch her breath. It's just so magical and glamorous. And yeah, we get an image of Jiru in his full splendor. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And as they are sparkling, walking towards them in this lovely scene, they end up knocking the girls down, and it looks like they're going to help him back up, but then he pulls up and he goes, "You should watch out for that," or something like that. No,
it's even better. So they collide, right? Rumi's carrying the box of tonic, and it goes flying in slow motion, and she is going to the pavement in slow motion, and we get another glamorous few shots of Jiru just looking resplendent. Jinu, excuse me, just looking just magnificent, just magical. You think that he's reaching out his hand to catch her, but no, he does a psych. Fixes his hair and then just says like, "Watch yourself." It's just so stone cold. Oh,
and there's a song playing in the background I'll mention off of the Love Maybe soundtrack, which is a reference to a Korean romantic comedy show called Business Proposal, where the same actor that voices Jinu, he's the main character in that show. Okay. And they based mainly Jinu's character, but I mean the boys in general, off of K-drama actors, the director says. And so he's beautiful in real life too, if you need to know.
Oh, yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
On Hyo Seop, and again, I probably fucked that up, but I apologize. That's who plays that.
If you're a mega fan of him, send your hate mail to Kyle.
Right.
Immediately.
The girls, they pick themselves up, though, annoyed at these jerks now.
Yeah.
Not so much loving them anymore, but then they immediately hear music around the corner, and they follow it to find these boys now performing a concert to the delight of the onlooking crowd, specifically Soda Pop, another massive chart-topping hit in the real world. I think it's number 3 on the global 200 right now. Like, if not, it's 4. It is...
Yeah, it's a cute song. It's a cute song. So we get to see the full band just like good clear in the sun shot of them. Let's go over each member of Saja Boys. We have Mystery Saja.
Mm-hmm. Hair over his eyes. He's a mystery.
He's so mysterious. Oh my! And then we have Abby Saja with his glorious abs. Kind of a, I don't know. I wouldn't say like surfer, but he's kind of the dude bro. most muscly of them. The
by
tallest
far.
one.
Yeah, just little baby. Sasha's a little twink.
Bad boy rapper too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, and then a romance Saja with his swooping pink mane, but then last and not least, we have Genu Saja, the front man, and. Yeah,
we get some more Looney Tunes humor, which is really funny in this moment because they like blow kisses to the crowd, and they're generating literal hearts out of air that are like knocking people over. And Mira's like, they can generate hearts out of thin air, and like catches one and is mad at it and like squeezes it. Like, what the fuck is this?
She's this is not her first time at the rodeo. She knows demons. She knows what they do. So yeah, no, she picks up on that. Like that shouldn't happen.
Well, they see a flicker of patterns on the neck is the thing, which really
we get another clue. Like
suggest him.
Yeah, we get kind of a little slow motion shot of the Saja boys dancing, but yeah, we see it's hidden except for it kind of ripples in the view just briefly, just for us, and yeah, the Huntrix girls know that they're demons. They catch it.
And it feels worth mentioning, I don't think regular people can see these patterns, mind you.
It doesn't seem like it.
It seems like it's a Hunter thing, and so the girls can detect it, but we don't see like Bobby ever react to these things or certain other ones.
Or just like the civilians don't know what to look for.
Exactly.
The Hunters, of course, are very keen to the signs of a demon.
Mira, being Mira, suggests killing them right then and there in a crowded plaza while they're doing a concert. She's ready to just stab somebody. Especially because they knocked her down. Jerks.
But no, it's too public, so they resort to just trying to nullify every nice gesture that the Saja boys are making. Like they're giving some kids some gifts, and so the Huntrix girls like run over and slap them out of their hands and stomp on them for their own good. The kids are perturbed, as you can imagine, but yeah, they're trying. The Huntrix girls are trying. But the
Saja boys sort of finish up that concert, and then in a puff of pink smoke, again, pink, the demons, they say, Saja boys love you. Which is cute, as this whole film is sort of based on the relationship between fans and pop stars and idol culture. It's the whole underlying foundation here, and it's a fun motif through the movie. As you mentioned, the fans themselves are really fun to watch, and they're so engaged and involved in these people's and this weird parasocial just love affair with these people.
But before we continue, who's your favorite Saja boy, Kyle? Who's the cutest?
Oh man, Baby Saja.
I can't choose.
Baby Saja's a cute little twink, I guess. Here, but I would love to get one of those gravestone rubbings of Abby Saja's abs and he just later.
Yeah, I kind of just want to. Oh my god,
I'd like it. It's fun.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Yeah.
What about you? Yeah.
I don't know. Like what can I say? Genu, and we're going to talk about gayest moment, but I can fix him. I can fix him.
He's beautiful. Like I said, he's literally like the Korean beauty stare that I've seen across like K-drama stars or across the people that make it like out in the world. It's wild.
Exactly. He's also just kind of like the perfect form of K-pop boy singer. Just exactly the look you'd expect, if you just had to like envision it.
So they mentioned before they sort of puff off, they're like, but come see us tonight at this like variety game show thing, which just seems to be like kind of, how talk shows just expose celebrities, do fun things with them and stuff, like Jimmy Fallon's clown show out there. And so they're going to be out there doing stuff. And the girls suit up to go kill them in their like badass leather gear. They're
we get kind of like a Sailor Moon putting the costumes on, except it's Huntrix getting battle ready.
And full leather, which will come in just a moment, mind you. But
it'll be ironic in a sec.
We cut to the Saja boys on the variety game show, aforementioned, first playing Who Can Chug the Most Hot Sauce in a fun little Hot Ones reference, I suppose.
We get Mystery Saja not reacting except for a single tear that streams down his face, and so he's out. Abby Saja, he's out. They're all out. Who wins?
It's Baby. Baby Saja has his little baby bottle of hot sauce, which is extra funny because he beats the host down.
He's such a bad boy.
He's completely unfazed by this too. He just like sets it down. And is like, little blue-haired twink who's better than you, but and this is the first time we actually hear the name said out loud and stuff, but the girls are backstage waiting to kill them when they come off stage, but they kind of do it from like the top of the stage, and Jinu sees them. He kind of glances back, sees them, and sort of pulls a reverse Uno card on them and says, but we have extra special guests coming out, Huntrix. And
so Jinu spots them, and then the spotlight spots them, and they're caught deer in headlights at the top of, kind of in the rafters, kind of like the top of a stage wall. So they're busted. They're on the prowl, and now they have to embarrassingly join Saja Boys for the antics. Even worse, though, their only way down to the stage are 3 slides that Jinu conveniently puts before them.
It's a goofy show. We get the vibe this is a regular thing because the crowd's like, slide.
Mind you, though, the Huntrix girls are clad just neck down in leather, demon stomping badass gear. Not really compatible with a plastic slide. And so it takes them a very loud, long time to get all the way down to the ball pit.
A squeaky, grating, awful noise situation where the fans are like, make it stop, actually. So they get one-upped. And even better, they finally get down to the stage. There's some funny banter, but they got to end the show, and they engage in like some passive aggressive bowing on their way out. The Saja Boys bow, and then Huntrix, they bow even lower, and then Saja Boys counters, and then Huntrix counters again until they're basically touching their toes with their foreheads. It's funny antics. And after that, the Saja Boys escape out the back, and the girls are like, no, I want to murder you. Like, where'd you go? And so they end up chasing him back there, and they follow him into a men's bathhouse.
So we finally finally get Rumi into a bathhouse. Not exactly, but chasing the Saja Boys. And I should say, we're 2 gay men. This is a very queer positive show. It's not that kind of bathhouse. Here's a little cultural thing. Bathhouses are just a thing in Korea. If you've ever been to a Korean bathhouse in the States, then you're fortunate. They're wonderful. That's just part of Korean culture, the bathhouses.
It's often the most foreign thing about Korean bathhouses to Americans is the fact that you have to be nude in the wet area, the hot tubs, the cold tubs, the sauna stuff, and you can have like towels and stuff. But the ones I've been to specifically have signs. It's like no phones, no swimsuits, no whatever, and they stop people if they walk in there with a swimsuit. They're like, no, you'll like dirty our tubs like with whatever. But this is very normal. Like, I mean, when I've been in those, there's like fathers bringing their young children in. There's very old men. This is just a cultural thing. It's not a sexual thing. Not like the word bathhouse again, yes, implies in gay culture or whatever else. So
bathhouses generally mean something more specific.
We'll just get that out of the way.
Stateside.
In case your lurid minds are... But as they're there, the Saja Boys sort of see them and are like, oh, you followed us in here? Like, weird.
And then Abby Saja is throwing some shade. And like, she's always looking at me.
Isn't that one? And they say they're not here to fight, though, but they are. And these water demons, a bunch of demons pop up here. And so... the bathhouse fight scene is here. What happens now? The weapons come back out.
Jinu summons a bunch of demons, and we get some more fighting. Rumi chases after Jinu, and then Mira and Zoe are fighting the horde.
And the demons kind of crawl through the ley lines in like these tinier pink portals, and you get the vibe that something may be wrong here.
There's some holes forming in the Hanmoon wall. As we saw before, pink signifies the oncoming of demon something, right? It indicates the presence of something demonic, and we see these pink holes appearing in space and demons pouring out of them
on the blue lines. But yes, Rumi chases Jinu into a sauna where he sees that she has patterns and is part demon. So Jinu now he knows
part of the secret here. Yeah.
And during their fight, she gets like a cut on her arm, and that's just how he sees the patterns. And she's almost exposed to her bandmates because there's like a hole blown in the wall where they are, and she's very worried about this. But Jinu, in an extremely, again, slow motion, dreamy, like romantic sort of scene, like
yeah,
sort of grabs her, spins her around, and like ties a little piece of cloth over it to not expose her.
Yeah, she's got a rip in the fabric of her sleeve. Jinu sees it and is very quick on his feet, but kind of in slow motion is giving her kind of a smoldering look, right? It's not as stone cold as his looks have been before this, and he seems actually infatuated with the fact that she has these demonic markings on it that. Yeah.
Or at least heavily intrigued, because we see him next just walking home ruminating on what he's learned with a hunter as part demon, because, they don't get the Saja boys in the bathhouse. They get away again.
Yeah.
And so he's learned now there's a hunter out there who's part demon, and he and the other boys are teleported back to the demon world right after he's ruminating on this.
Yeah, they get yanked back by Gwi-Ma. Yeah. Who seems very delighted by Soda Pop. He's kind of singing along to it, kind of mockingly. But hey, some souls have arrived. It seems to be working. The Saja boys are paying off. Yeah,
that's true. The girls are end up kicked out by an old man who's like, "This is the men's bathhouse," and they leave. But then we immediately see a demon sucking his soul after that.
Yeah. So we get the first bit of this starting to happen as the Hanmoon wall is getting porous. Yeah.
And Gwi-Ma also expresses surprise that one of the hunters bears his mark, but that he has no control over her. We get the vibe he doesn't know that. That's new information. So.
Yeah. So we're starting to learn a little bit about kind of the nature of all this, kind of some demonic metaphysics, as it were. Yeah.
The girls are back in their penthouse, and they look over the city. They have like a tower, by the way. There's like the word Huntrix on it. I don't know if this is like an Avengers or Fantastic Four situation where they own this entire tower, but like...
They might. They're just that popular.
But they have a massive, like penthouse regardless. And they have a great view of the city, all that to say, where they can see the Hanmoon, these blue lines coming out, and they see it's weakened in many areas, showing pink spots where there used to only be blue ley lines.
Exactly.
And so Bobby enters and says the Saja boys are trending, and the girls hate that and decide to write a new track for the Idol Awards to diss the Saja boys.
Yeah, we see the little Soda Pop shoulder bump dance going viral. Everyone's doing it. So yeah, the social media pressure is ticking up. Bobby kind of quips that it's just social media. It's not the end of the world, he says as he looks over the view from the penthouse. But then the camera reverses so that we see Huntrix and Bobby looking out, and we can see that Huntrix can see the ley lines getting weak. Like Bobby's not aware of this, but we see that the girls understand that this might be the end of the world. This could be actually. So
again, talking about they could see these things that Bobby can't. They call them demons in front of Bobby as they're leaving, and he's like, "Yeah, I mean." I'm not sure about the demons things. They seem like nice.
Spirit, though.
They might seem like nice people, actually, but I love that energy.
Yeah.
Rumi is still dealing with her voice problems, is going for one of those tonics that's supposed to make her feel better, but finds out immediately that this is just grape juice.
Womp womp.
Peels back little Dr. Liars label on this. And she knows that's not going to fix her voice that way. But on her balcony, as this is happening, she spies a demon bird wearing a tiny hat. He's got 6 eyes. It's like 3 on each side, mind you.
Yeah, and he's got a hat similar to the boy witch hat. Yeah.
Would you like to know the bird's name? Since I told you the tiger.
What is the bird's name?
The bird's name is Sussy.
Sussy? Sussy and Derpy. Wow.
And yes, speaking of Derpy, we see Tiger Eyes in the bush as she goes out to sort of to see what this bird is.
Sussy and Derpy, that describes a lot of my close friends. So,
I know, it's very a very accurate description of many people we know. But This is the same tiger we saw Jinu ride in on during his plan to become the Saja Boys, and we're treated to a very funny scene of him knocking over and trying to ride a flower pot but failing repeatedly. And again, if you didn't know the tiger's name was Derpy until the end of this movie, it's just now you're like, oh yeah, because he's such a dumbass in this stuff.
Yeah, we see enactment of the age old adage that cat equals cat. Cat will cat.
It's a very this is a cat thing, and also like that scene in Family Guy where like he's trying to get the frog out the window and keeps having to like sort of pick it up, almost there, not quite. Oh, I'm gonna try again.
But the cat is pawing a flower pot, and it's just adorable because the cat is just loves this. Demon cat, be it.
And Rumi's like watching this happen and is like, what is this?
Yeah, her sword is drawn, by the way, so she's ready to go, but it's just she's perplexed.
But it's more dumb and cute than anything, and so she steps closer to the tiger. The tiger like opens his tongue, and a very wet envelope is inside a letter for her, and the letter is from Jinu. Jinu wants to meet with Rumi to essentially talk about what's happening.
Yeah. Jinu wants to parlay. And so Cat Messenger delivers wet message.
Well, bleh.
Exactly.
So she does. She goes to where Jinu wants to meet him. Actually, slices the head off of what she thinks is Jinu right away.
She kind of trails the cat, kind of stalks the cat in secret. And the cat is jumping through portals and whatnot. Finally. Go like jumps into a portal on a stone wall, but on the roof above this wall we see Jinu, silhouetted by moonlight, and Rumi still stalking slowly jumps up to meet him on the roof with her sword. Jumps in for the attack, decapitates what is a mannequin dressed in Jinu's clothing. Jinu's clever.
Yeah, we see she's not there to talk, we'll say. And he then reveals himself and is like...
she is a woman of action.
He's like, oh, hey. And then she immediately tries to stab him again several times as he's trying to talk. He's like, I thought the mannequin would be a fun icebreaker. But like, I see...
he's got a sense of humor about him, what would he say? Like, well, I wasn't expecting a hug. But, something to paraphrase,
Yeah, and she's, again, kind of mad. Just wants to kill a demon here, and so she throws in his face. Well, I guess he correctly guesses first that she has not told her bandmates about the patterns on her.
There's another kind of funny moment that it was so delightful that I want to touch on. Rumi's wearing these pajamas with kind of like choo-choo prints on it, and gets clocked.
Choo-choos and teddy bears.
Gets clocked by Jinu, who looks at her pajamas and just kind of does a choo-choo.
It's very cute. This is a very funny movie. It's extremely well animated. This is done by Sony Animation, which did, I don't know if this is the exact team, but they're the ones that do the Spider-Verse movies. They did Mitchell's versus the Machines, which was amazing. Yeah. So this studio's really pumping out hits lately, I'll say.
Yeah, we'll have to talk about the aesthetic at the end of our review, but a lot of great things to say about it.
He tells her he knows how it feels to have the patterns, and she kind of throws in his face that demons don't feel anything, to which he replies, is that what you think? That's all demons do is feel. We feel our shame and our misery. It's how Gwi-Ma controls us. And then he stops and kind of says, do you not hear him in your ear? Because everybody he knows is a demon with patterns hears Gwi-Ma and what's going on, like his sort of voice of shame, his voice of control and such.
We get a glimpse of maybe why he's so intrigued by Rumi and the fact that she has these demonic patterns on her. He's perhaps looking for some kind of redemption himself, right? And maybe
or to be free like her, I suppose.
Like what's Rumi's secret? Like, why are you not constantly tormented by Gwi-Ma? Like, how can this be? Right?
So this is when we cut to the backstory of Jinu, at least some backstory of Jinu, as he remarks that Rumi's lucky not to hear him because he first heard Gwi-Ma 400 years ago when he was desperate and starving.
Gwi-Ma's voice comes to him in his utmost desolation, right? He has nothing he's starving. He's utterly hopeless, and he hears that voice. Enticing him with the promise of an immediate magical change in his fortunes. Of course,
because he's in a street, destitute, playing his little guitar thing, hoping for money, and essentially is just not making it. He's starving, and so he
is trying to support his sister and mother too. So it's even more desperate. But
the voice comes through. Yeah, he says he's not good enough, and that Gwi-Ma can help him be good enough. Essentially.
Yeah. And so we see in this flashback. Suddenly, they're taken into the palace. We can imagine kind of a soul to soul kind of deal with the devil. But alas, the demonic patterns start emerging on his body, and according to his story, he's claimed by the underworld, and his family's cast out of the palace, even worse than before. Very woeful tale.
Because overnight it changed. Like, Gwi-Ma was true to his word, mind you. He moved into the palace. He was praised by the king and his family and such there, and was just very cared for. But the patterns kept spreading, like you said, and he was claimed, which results in his family being thrown out. He says every day since he's haunted by failing them, essentially, and what happened to them. And we hear Gwi-Ma's voice reminding him that he left them behind and failed them, making his patterns a mark of shame.
Yeah. And so we find out that's the fate of demons, basically, is to be tormented by the constant nagging voice of Gwi-Ma highlighting your shame and your failure. But this is Ginu is fascinated with the idea that maybe Rumi has escaped this fate or is free of it. But she's not. Like, in her own way, she's tormented by her own voice of doubt and despair. And so it's
and to a degree, as we saw, it's Celine's voice, her mentor, telling her to hide. It's
exactly.
not Gwi-Ma's voice, but she has outside influences.
Exactly.
Still.
Celine is kind of her voice of not torment, but it does torment her. What Celine, for all the best reasons, taught her. Yeah.
And Ginu remarks that Rumi's patterns are a mark of shame too, but that he's there for her in a seemingly very genuine way. Like, he does seem to be quite, probably even past intrigued at this point. He's just,
we wonder whether or not he's fooling her because there is a demonic scheme, going on. But he's charming, and he seems, very, very genuine, and it's a very sweet moment between these two. Who
maybe towards him at this point. Rumi's still really not convinced. Rumi is defensive, says he doesn't know her. You don't know me, and then brings the sword to bear against him as he teleports off another puff of pink. But you see, at least overtures have been made, and like a connection has sort of been formed a bit, and it gives her something to think about, if nothing else.
Because she's shook.
Because I don't think we get the vibe she's really not talked to demons. She just stabs them and stuff. So this is the first time she's probably talked to a demon. This is the first time he's talked to a hybrid, uncontrolled demon.
And it's perhaps the first time she has talked about these patterns at all.
To anybody besides Celine, I suppose.
And Celine perhaps didn't want to talk about them. Like, she wanted to keep this hidden, perhaps even from herself. And so the very first time that she's been able to open up about this in any way whatsoever, and very reluctantly, of course, and especially when it's a demon who is getting you to open up. But
so we then see the girls writing said diss track that we mentioned earlier, or Takedown track as it ends up, because the song is named Takedown, and we're treated to another montage while Takedown plays. The girls they're frustrated. They're trying to figure out how they're going to do this diss track. Zoe's getting distracted by a poster of Mystery Saja on the wall. They're just flustered. That's true. Mira throws darts at Ginu. And she gets so distracted, Zoe does, that Mira's like, I'm taking these down. We can't leave this.
Mira loves and hates those abs. She's very conflicted. Yeah, absolutely.
So while this montage is going on, we see the Saja boys win a week week with Soda Pop. I don't really know exactly what this is. I'm not steeped in idol culture, but it seems to be like a weekly thing of like who's got the best song for the moment.
Yeah, like they're competing for ratings basically, and they're in a dead heat.
And so they win a week with Soda Pop. The girls win a week with Golden, their new song. We see Rumi decline another meeting with Jinu because the tiger keeps showing up. The adorable derpy tiger. Who's always popping up just like wanting to be like, hey, you want to meet again? And she's like, no. And Rumi understandably gets a bit uncomfortable with the lyrics and the attitude of the girls discussing how awful demons are and how they should all die.
Yeah. This is one of those moments when it's like, oh crap, those are the lyrics? Oh shit.
Yeah.
She's really feeling these lyrics. They're really smacking her hard because they definitely implicate her for sure. This is definitely her fear, right? That if the other members of Huntrix find this out, that like that's it, because this is the reality of what they do. They're the hunters, come on, like how does she resolve this conflict?
Right. I mean, it's something, and this is where I'll put a point on this. So while this movie is identifiable for a lot of people wanting to live authentically for various reasons, you can identify with Rumi and this metaphor. This movie has a very heavy queer undertone as far as Rumi goes. She's hiding who she is even from her closest friends and struggles to see herself as normal. She's only trying to work towards getting rid of the patterns, aka what makes her abnormal in the first place in her mind. And many queer people at first try to rid themselves of their queerness. It is a stage many people go through, especially in an anti-gay queer family, and especially when institutions like religion and religious therapy insist you can in fact pray away the gay and not live in sin or whatever. You can change, just like she's trying to.
The big golden wall, right? Pray away to the gay, and she is struggling with the truth of herself and the nature of her being and her identity in a world that she fears would just destroy her if they knew, and that's a very real concern, especially given her position too. So
absolutely, it's. I mean, this whole thing with her is basically a coming out metaphor in many ways. I mean, there's another stage, some queer people go through in this whole thing before coming out, is there's stages of self-hatred or projecting that hatred on others like them, the queers that are like, oh, I'm not like them or something, in front of people when you hear people talk about mess about queer people or something, and you are closeted, it makes you even more hesitant to come out because, of course, you're like, is that how you feel about gay people? And this is very much what Rumi's feeling in this moment when they're like, fuck demons, we're gonna stab them, we hate those guys, and the lyrics and things, and like she's like, what a fun song.
The lyrics to all the songs, by the way, they're very, they track well with what's going on plot wise too. And just something to note about Soda Pop and honestly all the Saja Boys song, they're always very ironic, right? Like the Soda Pop, the lyrics are about like drinking up everything in you to the last drop. It's all about consuming them and consuming everything inside them.
There's a lyric about like setting the world on fire, which in metaphor is usually just like, oh, we're doing really well, but you're like, oh no, there's a giant fire demon in this movie.
So like, no, really, we're gonna set the world on fire. So Golden very much like this too, right? She wants to be the queen she was meant to be, and there's just something holding her back, right? And it's this terrible secret. She's deep in the demon closet, basically.
So Rumi's in a little, I don't know, say bind or something there, but it's definitely not jiving with her. And especially now that she's sort of seeing perhaps a demon that's also not bad. It's not just her now. It's maybe Jinu's not bad too or something. Maybe we don't have to diss them or stab them or do all these things.
Maybe she can save him, and by way of that, save herself. Maybe, it's just full of conflicts.
But this and many other ones in the movie, I identified with immediately because it's like, I've been there in the room where people are just talking shit about gay people, and they didn't know I was gay, and it's like, oh, well,
This theme in the film, I don't know if it's presented as a queer theme in the film, but it's very easy to have an affinity with that for sure.
And the director has outright stated, like, this can absolutely be a queer undertone. It's not like a one-to-one mapping. Like I said, a lot of people love this movie, identify with it, so there's many reasons to.
It's readily available for that kind of shared space,
and some people take the blue and the pink to even, be the bisexual flag colors from the movie poster and such. So
exactly.
There's just things in there that it's easy. It's very surface level to pick out. It's not like super deeply coded like certain other things.
But nothing about the film says no to it either.
Yeah.
And so absolutely.
So we begin to see the Saja Boys succeed more and more with Huntrix fans switching sides. We get T-shirt ripping off man from the Huntrix to a Saja Boys T-shirt. And we see the pink Hanmoon lines pulsing in some scenes.
Yeah.
And so Huntrix trying to get some attention back on them and really get their fans back. They plan a signing event. Yet the first people in line that pop out are the Saja Boys, disguised.
Those dastardly Saja Boys showing up in
sleeping bags.
Yeah. This is like some drag queen reveals where it's like, I'm wearing a trash bag. I wonder what's under that. Maybe nothing, but who knows? Yeah.
They actually had Mira at one point in her intro, they talked about her wearing a sleeping bag to the Met Ball. And I was like, oh, Utica.
Yeah.
Who's doing great on Project Runway right now, I'll say it. But they show up. And
they crash the Huntrix signing.
And they essentially, are forced to be acknowledged because the fans are like, oh my God, the Saja Boys too. So you can't kick him out. You can't stab him like Mira wants to do right away.
But they very, very graphically split their fan base immediately. The Saja Boys and kind of a fast forward, kind of rapid motion scene.
When they make a separate table,
The table rapidly shows up with chairs and Saja Boys sit down and the crowd immediately splits into two groups. And this is, of course, very dismaying to the Huntrix girls because this is their fan base splitting in half. So
they decide, they say, actually, Saja Boys are going to sit with us, to which Mira and Zoe are like, what? But then they are surrounded on their sides by these various boys with, the boys near their romantic-ish counterparts or whatnot.
Yeah, so it's kind of some good thinking on her feet. Rumi sees really what is maybe the best solution to this without drawing too much attention to this competition, right? She kind of co-ops their crashing of the signing. But Mira and Zoe are getting glamour crushed again.
It's at least a lot of funny bits. As a reference once, Abby Saja, he's doing the thing you do on old gravestones where you you scratch it with a pencil to get a rubbing of it essentially, and he's doing that with his abs to hand to people.
Yeah, he's giving pencil etchings on paper of his abs, and yes, who wouldn't want this? I want this.
The 3 old ladies loved it for sure. In the midst of it, Ginu is sitting next to Rumi, and he asks her if she's told her friends. He's kind of whispering.
Yeah, kind of needling her about this, Yeah,
and she says no, and she further talks about how she hates her pattern. She hates all demons, and she hates Gwi-Ma, and another direct example of that queer and general self-hating undertone, or really just not being ready to embrace your true self yet.
Yeah.
And Ginu replies, though, if hate could defeat Gwi-Ma, I would have done it a long time ago, which is another bit of
It's insightful.
Yeah. If self-hatred or whatever would have fixed my gayness or whatever, then, it would have been done because I did that. But,
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you can follow it all you want. If you can hate yourself, it doesn't resolve anything. And then we see one of the fans kind of come up, because she kicks him at one point. She's like, oh, stop bothering me. We're like demons. And the fan's like, oh, are you two whispering to each other? What's happening with Footsie? Your secret's safe with me. And they're like, no. And she's like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fans are starting to ship the two groups, right? So we see flashes on people's phones, memes of Mira and 2 of them in romance, and Zoe and 2 of them in romance.
Ruginu or something,
cute, like Benifer,
the portmanteaus, mixing their names up and stuff.
Yeah. But in the midst of all this, Ginu from a child gets a drawing And it's just a cute child's drawing, but it describes Jinu's beautiful soul. And the reference to this really strikes him hard. Really takes him back, for sure.
Yeah, because, I mean, he has obviously his shame and his things going on. I mean, he's got a voice in his head telling him to have shame, and he's a soul that is just cast into the underworld. And so when somebody tells him he has a beautiful soul, it certainly can shake you, or at least make you think for a moment on that.
Yeah. Just that it reminds him of what he's lost, and just how deceptive he is, just how good at being a crafty demon he is. But he's, we see maybe a pang of remorse, Yeah.
So we kind of go next to Rumi in a room. She's got the Derpy. Oh, sorry, I need to call him by his name. Curled up as she's trying to rewrite the Takedown song, which is kind of cute because she obviously is like fine with these things now. He must show up all the time, as mentioned, to try to get her to go talk to Jinu again. Yeah,
and her rewrite of the Takedown song, she's scratching out the part about demons don't deserve to live, and or what, she's scratching on the lines about like demons don't feel anything, or
so I forget what comes immediately afterwards. When the patterns start to show, she scratches out and writes, "I see the pain that lies below," as opposed to like, actually let's kill these demons or whatever. And you see why, mind you. She's singing it to herself, indicating she's kind of starting to soften a bit on demons and herself, perhaps.
Yeah.
But she still refuses to see Jinu again as Derpy and Sussy would want here. And Mira knocks on the door to come in and talk. And Rumi opines if this is really the song that they want to take down Saja Boy's Gwi-Ma with, as it's kind of hateful. And Mira remarks, because we hate him and we hate demons.
Yeah. Mira's getting a little suspicious of Rumi. Mira is very perceptive, and she's definitely onto something. She's sensing Rumi's just something is amiss. Like Rumi's just off. Her head's not in the game. She seems unfocused.
Right. And I mean, she says, "I'm really good at reading people. What are you hiding from me?" She's on the nose about it, but takes her at her word, takes Rumi when she says she's not. And that Mira sort of says, she goes on to say she can't wait for this to be over and for all demons to be sent back to Gwi-Ma to suffer for eternity. To which Rumi sadly remarks, like, eternal suffering sounds fun. So again, in the queer metaphor, this is a one-to-one regarding what queer people are told about their destiny to be in hell. And they're often told this by people that are supposed to love them, or institutions they trusted, or people they're closest with. And so why would a queer person come out to these people when they've heard openly disdain them and say things like this, like suffer forever? And why would Rumi come out as a demon to her friend who just opined that all demons should suffer forever? Like,
again, just how readily available this is for queer interpretation, right? If you've ever had to laugh at some awful homophobic joke as a teenager just so no one gets suspicious of you, with the consequences being ostracism, if not violence. Here's Rumi having a nod along, like, hate those demons, want to kill them.
Totally. Let's take them down. But the Saja Boys are rising and rising. And so we see that with their rise, demons are starting to take the souls of fans. And news reports come on saying the missing persons report have tripled in the last 24 hours.
The Saja Boys, they're on TV, and there sinister overtones to what they're saying. Their tone of voice is getting kind of demonic. They mention how they really feed off your energy, not figuratively, of course. We see it starting to happen. Hence all the missing persons reports. Souls are getting consumed.
And then we see Rumi invite Jinu to talk in a reversal of things there, and proposes ultimately that he help Huntrix win the Idol Awards. And further, she says that when the Hanmoon occurs, Jinu would be on this side of it and protect it, so he wouldn't have to go back to Gwi-Ma, essentially. Like
he would be safe from Gwi-Ma, from his terrible, constant voice in his head and whatnot.
She also says, and I mean, I have a quote of this one, like, "I'm a mistake, have been since the moment I was born, so I have to believe, because if there's no hope for you, what hope is there for me?"
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot at stake for her personally, for the world. Yeah, exactly. And again,
honestly, the scene ends up rife with quotes, because at one point Gina remarks, "See, things are hopeless," but Rumi responds with, "That's the thing about hope. Nobody gets to decide if you feel it. The choice belongs to you."
Yeah.
And so it's, I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, again, if you're not looking for it, or you're not really about the queer metaphor, just pass by. This is just a movie about, like, you know, she's got little demon tattoo things going. But if you are looking for it, it's there. It's right under the surface. Just a few grains of sand under there. So, like,
Yeah.
But ultimately, they share a moment of awkward romantic tension, and Gina remarks, "For what it's worth, I don't think you're a mistake." And their bond tightens even further here.
Yeah, it's sweet.
And you get the vibe it is real. Again, this could absolutely just be fake. He is a demon who is committed to losing his memories, you know, to helping things. He was called out as being self-serving immediately upon his first introduction. So
yeah.
So you don't know. It's not there yet, but you know.
Yeah. An older woman encounters them while they're having this conversation with bracelets.
I think that's one more in the future to their meetings.
Did I skip ahead?
Yeah, because this one, now they're practicing for the Idol Awards, and the other girls, Rumi sort of stops mid-verse because, again, she's like, I just don't think these lyrics are right yet.
Yeah.
And so Zoe proposed, she's like, "Okay, that's totally fine. What about this? When your patterns start to show, the whole world will know that you're depraved." To which Rumi's like, "Oh, not quite that, but..."
Yeah, Zoe's just, bless her heart, but she's just not helping. She doesn't know this, but
she's cute. She's the lyricist. She's got all these notebooks with the lyrics, and she's like, "Okay, we can fix this." But she hurts a lot more than helps in that moment.
Yeah, each alternative is more violent than the next. Yeah.
Which Rumi eventually is like, "It's not that. Just relax." But it's just the whole song, and as they're arguing, though, a pink pulse comes through, and so they're off demon hunting again.
Yeah. So they follow the pulse. They end up on top of a train, on top of a moving train, and Mira just kind of calls Rumi out. Right, Mira wants Rumi to prove that she's still fully in this. Right, that she's loyal, that she's still, or her head's in the game.
Mm-hmm. Why are you questioning everything Hunter stands for? Now she says.
Or at least that is what it's feeling like to Mira and Zoe. Rumi seems to be rocking the boat in ways they don't understand. So but we get a partial bit of the song "Takedown" for this fight scene on top of the moving train.
Yeah, because a demon portal pops open, and this is a much, much bigger pink portal than we saw in the bathhouse. As a note,
this one is just it's just swallowing the entire train in this like scary kind of black kind of sudden nightfall. Almost.
Tons of crawling like little zombie things. On there, and this is weakening. The Saja boys are succeeding, and where that happens, the Han Moon's, it's getting weaker. We're seeing these things happen.
Yeah, demons are getting more plentiful in the human world. The Huntrix girls, they fight the demons back, but they get all the passengers on the train. So they did fail at that, and it does kind of shake them. When the train ends, stops moving, and they're done with the combat. Mira and Zoe are very, very moody. Mira especially. Rumi is very shook, just being called out and being questioned. Her loyalty and her commitment being questioned, for sure. Which, given that she's half demon, her commitment is immense. It's more so arguably than theirs, but again, they don't know her secret struggle.
No, so she can't share anything about it with them, really. Like, so when they needle her on it, she still thinks she can't. And in a little bit of, again, the double meaning and subtext behind the Saja Boys stuff. When they go in to find the passengers, all their phones are left there, repeating a message from the Saja Boys about needing them and joining their pride, their lion pride. And Mira remarks that no matter what Rumi thinks about the song, they need to stick together to fix things, because obviously bad things are happening right now.
Yeah. But it's tense, for sure.
It's tense. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see. So
this is where we get the meeting, I believe, that you were talking about, because Rumi meets Ginu again and asks why the bird Sussy wears a tiny hat. Ginu, in a funny bit, says he made it for the tiger, but the bird keeps taking it, and the bird looks at him and then smirks. He's like, I did.
Which, that tiny hat on that cat would be hilarious, for sure. Because it is definitely bird size.
It is a tiny hat. So let's talk about these two. I said I would later. When I looked up things about these, because I was curious, the magpie named Sussy represents the cunning and intelligent common people of Korea, while the tiger Derpy represents the wealthy, foolish, and corrupt ruling class. The duo is a direct reference. When I say that, it's a direct reference to Korean folk art genre.
Okay.
And I'm going to fuck up this word. I know. It's like Kachi Durak, or Minhwa, which features a plump tiger and an intelligent magpie in satirical paintings. So this is based on a part of their culture and whatnot. The magpie's act of stealing the tiger's official hat, a symbol of authority, is a visual metaphor for the people's ability to outwit their superiors.
Okay.
In the film context, they're not demons, but they are Korean supernatural beings, which is how they're able to travel between worlds. That's why we saw Derpy down in the underworld and able to move freely and just teleporting around and such.
Okay.
Additionally, these two were supposed to be the narrators of the film originally. So that might lend you context as to why they're there, why the final shot is of them, and such. But the director, Maggie King, rejected the idea, and not only because she couldn't find a voice actor and actress for them, but she found it too distracting with all the other things going on in the film, and a cheap way to talk down to its American audience who don't know much of Korean culture. So they would have had an even bigger role in the film, and they would have had voices, but they don't. And frankly, I think it's fine. I think it's well done the way it pops out, but it's interesting to think about.
It's an interesting alternative way of framing the movie and whatnot, because Celine as the narrator makes it more serious in a way. I feel. So interesting.
I also was like, that could have been just a way different movie with a different tone, sort of, on this.
And like you brought up, it would have highlighted something that would not be readily understood by an American audience, for sure. So
interesting to know. I mean, when I looked it up, I was like, oh, well, awesome. It's not just like a smirking bird and you had dumbass tiger whose eyes point different directions. It's like this is based on a real thing.
Okay, that wraps up part 1 of our review of K-Pop Demon Hunters. We have so much more to talk about and fanboy over with this film, so check out part 2 coming up next.